Have you ever been curious about volcanoes and how they behave? Have you ever wondered how volcano events can help predict future activity? Have you considered how these predictions can be used in order to warn people to get to safety? If so, you may consider volcanology an interesting field of study. We will dive deeper into the subject by learning from David Johnston, a well respected volcanologist who has been honored as a hero in science. David Johnston began his impressive career in volcanology research through undergraduate and graduate experiences during his academic career in the 1970s. These experiences enabled him to investigate a wide variety of volcanic features across the U.S., including the San Juan volcanic field in Colorado, the Augustine volcano in Alaska, and a long extinct volcano in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. After earning his PhD, Johnston focused his research on the role of volcanic gases in eruptions. He believed that studying the gases emitted by an active volcano could provide an indication of processes occurring within the volcano and potentially provide insight on the strengths of the eruption. This is a logical assumption, considering the fact that the rapid expansion of gas serves as a driving force behind explosive eruptions, helping to propel lava and debris. Johnston also sought to apply his ideas to past eruptions, speculating that information about the gases present during these events could provide valuable context. In order to study past eruptions, he conducted research at Mount Katmai in Alaska, which had undergone a major eruption in 1912. To determine the gaseous composition of the environment during the eruption, Johnston studied melt inclusions that had formed during the volcanic event. Melt inclusions were created when magma cools upon reaching the surface and the process of crystallization occurs. Often, volatiles such as H2O and CO2 can be trapped within forming crystals, effectively providing a geologic snapshot that can be analyzed by the researchers. Melt inclusions in the form of small vapor bubbles were especially relevant to Johnston's area of interest.
Johnston's fascination with volcanic gases would lead him to become part of the team monitoring Mount St. Helens after it began to display seismic activity in March of 1980. Several factors notified researchers of the impending eruption, including earthquakes around the volcano, an ash cloud above the mountain, and the development of a bulge on the side of the mountain. The bulge was the result of gas and magma filling the inside of the volcano. Over the weeks Johnston spent studying Mount St. Helens, he collected a multitude of gas samples, including some that he took from the summit of the mountain on May 17th, the day before the eruption. Unfortunately, Johnston would not have the opportunity to conduct in-depth research on his samples. He died in the pyroclastic flow associated with the May 18th eruption of Mount St. Helens after notifying his colleagues that the eruption had begun. Johnston's work had contributed to authorities' decision to limit access to Mount St. Helens in the period preceding the eruption, protecting the public from the event. Even so, the eruption resulted in the loss of 61 lives and had an estimated economic impact of $1 billion. Johnston's goal of finding ways to better monitor volcanic activity in order to protect the public is still being pursued to this day by modern volcanologists. If you want to gain the qualifications to get an entry-level technician job in this field, at least a bachelor's degree in either geology, geophysics, or earth science will be required. If one wanted to have a more highly advanced role in a lab, a master's degree would be needed. Additionally, a doctorate degree is often also recommended for more advanced positions and is essentially required for academic jobs like research or teaching. In some areas, you need a license in order to participate in work on predicting volcanic eruptions. Basic skills, such as having good communication, critical thinking, evaluating relationships, and ability to work collaboratively in a team setting are very important. One of the most important traits would be love for the outdoors. Volcanologists must be willing and able to conduct tests on samples of volcanic material taken from the field. In our geology course, we are working to hone this skill by testing the properties of various rock samples from our lab kit.
Although David Johnston's death may portray volcanology as a particularly dangerous job, there have only been 67 recorded instances of scientists dying as a result of volcanic activity. Recent technological advances have helped to make the job even safer. For example, important gas samples can now be gathered via drone, lessening the need for researchers to be as close to active volcanoes as Johnston was. Generally, volcanologists consider their career to be both stimulating and rewarding. Johnston was quoted multiple times, stating how much he loved his job, and once saying, "I just can't believe they're paying me to do this." There's also a collaborative aspect to the job. Many volcanologists belong to societies and professional organizations. The Geological Association of America is a more general professional organization that encompasses all geoscientists and allows communication across all fields. The International Association of Volcanology and Chemistry of the Earth's Interior is another organization that brings professionals in volcanology and related fields together to provide more specialized meetings and courses related to volcanoes. Volcanologists' contributions towards protecting people from natural hazards are invaluable. Though Johnston was killed in the eruption of Mount St. Helens, it was because of him and other scientists like him that the disaster didn't claim any more lives. Johnston felt that it was worthwhile for scientists to take risks in order to protect the public. Following his death, Johnston was commemorated in many ways, including through the establishment of a memorial fund for graduate research at the University of Washington. Most importantly, volcanologists carry on his legacy by continuing to build on his research in order to make the world a safer place.